The network show right here on 910 AM, the Superstation, the Future Radio. Hey, I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. It is Friday, February 12th, 2021, and we are live. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's been a very, very busy day. I was on Roland Martin Unfiltered earlier today, and then also we're here for this show. We know today was day 4 of the second impeachment trial of one Donald John Trump. And we saw that Trump's defense team put forth a lot of what about isms and put forth a lot of mistruths and twisting the facts. There was an article from the LA Times. Trump team wraps short impeachment defense long on falsehoods. We're going to talk about that. Then we have also this story from CNN, which deals with new details about Trump McCarthy, about Donald Trump, Representative Kevin McCarthy shouting match showed Trump refused to call off rioters. You also have hundreds of congressional staffers who work for Republicans on Capitol Hill who are threatening to Republicans in the U.S. Senate. You have a number of them. I know there's a petition of 500 of them, at least actually over 500 of them, who are pleading with them to convict Donald Trump. So all this is taking place. So we're going to talk about this on today's show. Then also at the impeachment trial today, we saw Representative Stacey Plaskett, Delegate Stacey Plaskett, because Stacey Plaskett represents the U.S. Virgin Islands, and the U.S. Virgin Islands are a U.S. territory and not a state, so she does not get a vote. So she is a delegate and not a representative. But Delegate Stacey Plaskett, we saw her also today on day 4 during the impeachment trial. And she talked about how, so the Trump team, we knew they were going to try to draw these false equivalencies between Black Lives Matter protests, and 93% of the Black Lives Matter protests that took place during the summer, 93% of those were nonviolent. There's a study done. CNN has an article about this. CNN and all the news outlets reported this back during the summer. But actually, the article from CNN is about 93% of racial justice protests in the U.S. have been peaceful, a new report finds, and was looking at the protests from this past summer. So they showed these the footage from the protests, and they showed a lot of African American women who were outraged at what was taking place in the killing of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor, things like this. And Delegate Stacey Plaskett slams Trump's impeachment defense and says Black women are sick and tired. Black women are sick and tired. She talked about how she was sick and tired of being sick and tired. And that's a reference to Fannie Lou Hamer, civil rights activist, human rights activist, Fannie Lou Hamer, voting rights activist Fannie Lou Hamer. Okay, so all that took place today, and then you had the story from CNN that broke basically pretty much after the trial concluded today, dealing with this shouting match between Donald Trump and Kevin McCarthy on January 6th. And Donald Trump refused to call off the domestic terrorist thugs that he sent to the U.S. Capitol building. Then we see that Dave Chappelle is back on Netflix. TMZ reported today, and also AtlantaBlackStar.com. Dave Chappelle said, "I got my show back and they paid me millions of dollars." We'll talk about that as well today on the African History Network show. So We're broadcasting on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network, and our YouTube channel, Michael Imhotep, Imhotep. So everybody share this on your social media platforms. Invite your friends to tune in also. You can still register for my online course, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. This is a 16-hour, 8-week online course that I teach. We deal with thousands of years of history. We deal with ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, the Nile Valley region of Africa. We deal with history leading up to the transatlantic slave trade. We deal with the 800-year occupation of Europe by the Africans known as the Moors, and the teachings that the Moors take into Europe, the science, the mathematics, the astronomy, new foods they introduce, new musical instruments, and how these teachings bring Europe out of the Dark Ages, and it's going to basically lead to the transatlantic slave trade taking place. So the class meets Tuesdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Tuesday, February 16th, our guest speaker is going to be cultural anthropologist Sister Nubia Wartford, who does archaeological digs in the Sudan. And we know that the upper portion of the Sudan and the lower portion of Egypt is what in ancient times was called Nubia, or basically Ta-Nehisi. And there are twice as many pyramids in the Sudan as there are in Egypt, because Nubia, or Ta-Nehisi, is the mother of ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt. And the grandmother of ancient Egypt is Abyssinia, or Ethiopia. So Sister Nubia will be, we're going to talk about the African queens of antiquity in our class Tuesday, February 16th, 2021, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can register at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. We do the classes live at our online school, and then all the classes are recorded. You can go back and watch them over and over again as much as you want to, watch them around the world. So the course is on sale, $80, regularly $130. We just posted the link here also. Visit our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. As soon as you register, there's bonus content you can start watching, and you can watch class number 1 from February 9th, 2021. All right, because I do a PowerPoint presentation. We have video clips, book references. There are about 50 articles that I reference. So we deal with thousands of years of history. Okay. On the African History Network show, we focus on educating, empowering, and inspiring people of African descent throughout the diaspora and around the world, because right knowledge corrects wrong behavior. What you do for yourself, what you do to yourself, and what you allow other people to do to you and get away with is based upon what you think about yourself. What you think about yourself is based upon what you have been taught about yourself. What you've been taught about yourself is based upon everything you've read, heard, and seen about yourself. So when you control the radius of a man's thoughts, you can control man or woman's thoughts. You can control the circumference of his or her actions, because the mind can't do or teach what it doesn't know. Now, we deal with a number of different topics here on the African History Network show. We deal with current events and history and politics, education, economic empowerment, entrepreneurship, love, sex, health issues, and much, much more. Sign up for our email newsletter. Text the word Kemet, K-E-M-E-T, to 22828. To sign up for our email newsletter, text the word Kemet, K-E-M-E-T, to 22828. To sign up for our email newsletter, also at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. If you like this type of information, you can donate to the African History Network. You can support us. $ the AHN show through Cash App, $ the AHN show through Cash App. Then also through PayPal, paypal.me/the AHN show, paypal.me/the AHN show, and at our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com. It helps us keep broadcasting 6 days a week. We're here Monday through Friday, 11 p.m. to 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time. Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It helps us keep doing the research, stay on the air, keep broadcasting 6 days a week, etc. All right. So we're coming up here on the break. On the other side of the break, I'm going to share an excerpt from Roland Martin Unfiltered. Well, when we look at day 4 of this second Senate trial, impeachment trial of Donald Trump. So the Senate adjourned on Friday evening, February 12, 2021, after lawyers for Donald Trump's defense team rested their case in the former president's second impeachment trial. Now, Trump's lawyers used under 3 hours. It was right about 2.5 hours or so, under 3 hours of their allotted time for arguments to echo their client in calling the impeachment case built by Democratic House managers an act of political vengeance. An act of political vengeance. It's not political vengeance. It's holding a traitor accountable. It's holding a traitor accountable. That's what this is. And the defense team alleged that Trump's speech preceding the Capitol riot was merely, quote unquote, ordinary political rhetoric. Well, what type of ordinary political rhetoric has resulted in an attempted insurrection to interrupt a constitutionally mandated process by a joint session of the legislative branch of the federal government to certify electoral college votes and to keep a president in power and stop the peaceful transference of power? What ordinary political rhetoric has resulted in that? What ordinary political rhetoric has resulted in an attempted insurrection and an attack on the U.S. Capitol by any sitting sitting politician? So they're lying. No, it's not ordinary political rhetoric. This resulted in 5 people dying as a result, and then 2 other police officers committed suicide afterwards. That's not ordinary political rhetoric. But these are the type of lies these attorneys for Donald Trump told today. We'll deal with this on the other side of the break. Listen to the African History Network show right here on 910 a.m. the Superstation Future Radio. I'm Michael Imhotep. We'll be back in a few minutes.
For 25 years, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum has carried on the rich legacy of the Black Museum movement in America by showcasing original artifacts of the Black experience at colleges, universities, K-12 schools, corporations, libraries, conferences, and cultural events, making it the most traversed Black History mobile exhibit in American history. Dr. Khalid El-Hakim is the founder of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and he is a highly sought-after public speaker on topics of Black history, social studies, education, museum studies, hip-hop, and race relations. Dr. Khalid was named among the change makers for NBC Universal's Erase the Hate campaign and listed as one of the 100 men of distinction for Black enterprise. He recently founded the Michigan Hip Hop Archive on the campus of Western Michigan University. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum is currently scheduling in-person and virtual exhibits nationwide. For more information, please contact Dr. Khalid El-Hakim directly at 313-645-4197, 313-645-4197, or visit their website at blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. That's blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. You can also email him at bhistory101@yahoo.com, bhistory101@yahoo.com.
Are you getting ready for fall or winter? We have the solution for all seasonal clothing needs. Kemeticwear.com is the go-to online source for Kemetic African fashion and lifestyle products with a contemporary twist. We're committed to offering unique styles reflecting our African heritage. Kemeticwear.com is inspired by KemeticScribes.com to influence our people in learning and showing pride. Please visit our website at Kemeticwear.com.
Visit 4glossygirls.com. That's the number 4glossygirls.com, and follow them on Instagram at 4glossygirls.
Black Bees products are a collection of natural, organic, personal care products with an appreciation of nature and bees. Our philosophy is without bees, we have nothing. We are honoring our Nile Valley ancestors who understood the importance of bees. Black Bees created a high-quality, natural, organic personal care line that would be affordable to everyone. We hope you try and enjoy our Black Bees products line and come back and visit us at blackbeesproducts.com.
Welcome back to the African History Network show right here on 910 AM, the Superstation, the Future Radio. Hey, I'm your host, Brother Michael Imhotep. It is Friday, February 12th, 2021, and we are live. We know Valentine's Day is coming up on the 14th. Some African Americans celebrate Valentine's Day, some don't. But even if you don't, you should still be with somebody, you know, you care about, and take them out, go out on a date, all of that. Okay. Those watching on Facebook. Okay. Now I shouldn't be freezing up. Let me know. Somebody said I'm freezing up on Facebook. I shouldn't be. I'm monitoring this also, on my end, and it's not freezing up on my end. So, you know, on Sunday's show, I'm going to talk about the history of Valentine's Day. We'll talk about that on Sunday's show. Whether you celebrate Valentine's Day or not, you know, you still take care of your significant other or somebody you want to be your significant other or what have you. So don't let that stop you. All right. Right before the break, we were talking about day 4 of the Senate impeachment trial of Benedict Donald. Okay, so we saw a lot of what ifism, what aboutism, all this nonsense. I was watching this clown show. We saw that they played about something like a 14 minute clip of Democrats using the word fight. And by one count, it was about 377 times, I think it was, that they used the word fight in this montage, and a lot of this stuff just totally taken 377 times. Key part of Trump's defense, which included the word fight 377 times in 2 hours, was undercut by his attorney. This is an article written by Philip Bump for the Washington Post. All right. So this is, I want to know, are these guys actually going to get paid? Is Trump like actually paying you? Are you doing somebody a favor or something like that? Because they really didn't help his case. Overall, they really didn't help his case today. All right. So you had Bruce Castor, one of Trump's attorneys. Bruce Castor said, quote, this trial is about far more than President Trump. It is about silencing and banning the speech the majority does not agree with. That's not what this is about. This is about holding a president accountable who, for weeks, going back 6 months before the election, said the only way that he would lose is if his election was stolen, if it was fraud, and sowing seeds of doubt into the election because he knew he was going to lose. Okay? This is about a president who incited an insurrection to stay in power. That's what this is about. Violated his oath to defend the Constitution against enemies, both foreign and domestic, because he's a domestic enemy to the Constitution. That's what this is about. This is not about trying to silence 75 million voters or anything like that. That's not what this is about. He said, Bruce Castor said, quote, it is about canceling 75 million Trump voters and criminalizing political viewpoints. No. One, they lost. So they're not. And two, they still have representation in the House of Representatives and the U.S. Senate, but they lost the election. So that's not trying to silence them. They lost the election. He said, it's the only existential issue before us. It asks for constitutional cancel culture to take over the United States Senate. Some of these guys, I don't think they've ever read a U.S. Constitution before. It's not constitutional cancel culture. That's just nonsense. Now, once Trump's defense concluded, senators were able to pose written questions to representatives of both sides. So that was a process of about 4 hours or so. They had up to 4 hours for questions. The defense needs only to prevent 17 or more Republican senators from voting to convict. And so far, most GOP senators still appear ready to acquit Trump. Now, it's been alluded that many of them are under pressure from their constituents. They're getting threats and things like this, threats of bodily violence, etc. Now, here's the thing. If you are such a coward to yield to political pressure or the threat of violence, as opposed to voting for what you know is right and voting your conscience, because you know Trump is guilty. If you're that much of a coward, you should resign. You don't deserve to be a U.S. senator. If you're that much of a coward, okay, to not convict somebody who incited an insurrection, an attempted insurrection, and sent a bunch of domestic terrorist thugs to the U.S. Capitol, if you're that much of a coward, you shouldn't be on the federal payroll. You don't deserve to represent constituents. You should resign. Okay. Now you could contact the FBI and talk and turn over the threats that you've received. You could contact the Capitol Police and let them know about threats. You could get protection. But if you're that much of a coward to bend over and acquiesce to threats, you should resign. You don't deserve to be in the U.S. Senate. Now we're going to go to clip number one. Clip number one is from NBC Nightly News. And just so people understand, Democrats get threats all the time. Democrats get threats all the time. African Americans in the House and Senate, they get threats. Okay. But also, they're going to stand up and hold this traitor accountable. That's the difference. I want to go to this clip here from NBC Nightly News. Trump's attorneys present defense in impeachment trial. Let's go to clip number one, Shakita. Former President Trump's attorney slammed the House Democrats' impeachment case as an unconstitutional act of political vengeance. Take it off of mute. Okay, we'll get that clip going. This is clip number one for
legal team slamming the House Democrats' impeachment case as an unconstitutional act of political vengeance.
This unprecedented effort is not about Democrats opposing political violence. It is about Democrats trying to disqualify their political opposition. It is constitutional cancel culture.
Countering the Democrats' portrayal of Mr. Trump's combative rhetoric and actions leading up to last month's riot, taking aim at their assertion that the former president's use of the word fight incited the crowd.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
No thinking person could seriously believe that the president's January 6th speech on the ellipse was in any way an incitement to violence or insurrection. The suggestion is patently absurd on its face.
Playing this montage of Democrats using the word too.
We're in the fight of our lives right now.
We fight like hell to fight.
Fight against the Trump administration. Democrats are standing up to fight.
Every single one of you and every one of you. That's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. It's a word people use. But please stop the hypocrisy.
Just one of several times Mr. Trump's legal team ruled lengthy mashups of Democrats' words without context in defense of their client. with Democrats appearing to endorse violence.
In high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
I think you need to go back and punch him in the face. Feel like punching him. Also highlighting Democrats challenging the legitimacy of recent elections.
They stole it. It's clear. It's clear. And I say that publicly. It's clear.
You can run the best campaign. You can even become the nominee. And you can have the election stolen from you.
To litigate questions of election integrity within the system is not incitement to resurrection. To claim that the president in any way wished, desired, or encouraged lawless or violent behavior is a preposterous and monstrous lie.
They say Mr. Trump could not have incited the siege because it was pre-planned and argued Democrats ignored this key comment from the same speech before the riot.
I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard.
The president's remarks explicitly encourage those in attendance to exercise their rights peacefully and patriotically. Peaceful and patriotic protest is the very antithesis of a violent assault on the nation's capital.
But in a presentation where Mr. Trump's lawyers used less than 3 of their 16 hours, they made a series of false claims.
One of the first people arrested was the leader of Antifa.
In fact, none of the criminal complaints filed so far accuse anyone with being a follower of Antifa. And later, during the senator's question and answer session, Mr. Trump's lawyers were pressed whether the former president knew Vice President Pence had been evacuated from the Senate when he sent a tweet attacking him.
The answer is no. At no point was the president informed the vice president was in any danger.
But a Republican senator has said at the time he told Mr. Trump by phone that Pence had been rushed out. Democrats telling senators Mr. Trump is solely responsible for the riot.
That mob didn't come out of thin air. He spent week after week inciting his supporters to believe that their votes had been stolen.
But Mr. Trump's lawyers argue that Democrats never proved their case and that the Senate should acquit.
Like every other politically motivated witch hunt the left has engaged in over the past 4 years, this impeachment is completely divorced from the facts, the evidence, and the interests of the American people.
And late tonight, the Senate voted unanimously to award Capitol Police Officer Eugene Goodman a Congressional Gold Medal for his heroism last month. Goodman there in the chamber, as you see, receiving a standing ovation. Tomorrow, both sides will deliver their closing arguments in this trial, and we could have a verdict soon after.
Okay, so that's from NBC Nightly News. Check out that clip at NBCnews.com. Trump's attorneys present defense in impeachment trial. They may also have it at MSNBC.com. Trump's attorneys present defense in impeachment trial. That's from NBC Nightly News, February 12th, 2021. Okay, so quickly here, I want to, so you heard some of the falsehoods that Trump's attorneys just blatantly lied, all right? And then we're going to go to clip number 2 in just a second, Shakita from Roland Martin Unfiltered. If you look at this article here from the LA Times from February 12th, okay, this is about day 4 of the Senate impeachment trial. Everybody read this article. Trump team wraps up a short impeachment defense long on falsehoods. Trump team wraps up a short impeachment defense long on falsehoods. And one of the blatant lies, let's just be honest, these were blatant lies, some of them that were told. Some of them you may say, okay, they're falsehoods, others just blatant lies. If we look at this right here, about 5th or 6th paragraph, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6th paragraph. Let's blow this up here. I want everybody to see this. See, this is why you have to keep traitors out of office. This is why you have to keep domestic terrorists out of office. During one line of argument, Trump's attorneys stated that, hold on, let me see. This is what I want to blow up right here. During one line of argument, Trump's attorneys stated that the first rioter arrested in the January 6th insurrection was not a supporter of Trump, but of the leftist Antifa movement. There is no evidence to support the assertion. Where did they get that from? They just made it up. They presented absolutely no evidence to substantiate that allegation. They just made it up to try to divert attention from a sitting president who incited an insurrection to disrupt a constitutionally mandated bipartisan joint session of the legislative branch of government to certify the electoral college votes that was certified December 14th, to stop the peaceful transference of power so this traitor could stay in office. So they're just blatantly lying. So we talked about this on Roland Martin Unfiltered today, and I'm a panelist usually each Friday on Roland Martin Unfiltered. Roland was somewhere, I don't know where he was, but Ashley was sitting in for Roland. She's a brilliant journalist. We talked some about this. They played a montage of clips, and then she asked me what I thought. Let's go to this clip, Shakita.
This trial is about far more than President Trump. It is about silencing and banning the speech the majority does not agree with. It is about canceling 75 million Trump voters and criminalizing political viewpoints. That is what this trial is really about. It's the only existential issue before us. It asks for constitutional cancel culture to take over in the United States Senate. Are we going to allow canceling and banning and silencing to be sanctioned in this body? To the Democrats who view this as a moment of opportunity, I urge you instead to look to the principles of free expression and free speech. I hope truly that the next time you are in the minority, you don't find yourself in this position. To the Republicans in this chamber, I ask, when you are next in the majority, please resist what will be an overwhelming temptation to do this very same thing to the opposing party. Members of the Senate, this concludes the formal defense of the 45th president.
President Trump engaged in a course of conduct that incited an armed attack on the Capitol. He did so while seeking to overturn the results of the election and thwart the transfer of power. And when the attack began, he further incited violence aimed to his own vice president, even as demonstrated his state of mind by failing to defend us and the law enforcement officials who protect us. The consequences of his conduct were devastating on every level. Police officers were left overwhelmed, unprotected. Congress had to be evacuated. Our staff barricaded in this building, calling their families to say goodbye. Some of us, like Mr. Raskin, had children here. And these people in this building, some of whom were on the FBI's watch list, took photos, stole laptops, destroyed precious statues, including one of John Lewis.
This is Stacey Plaskett.
Desecrated the statue of a recently deceased member.
Keep going.
Stood for nonviolence. This was devastating. And the world watched us. And the world is still watching us to see what we will do this day, and we'll know what we did this day 100 years from now. Those are the immediate consequences, and our actions will reverberate as to what are the future consequences. The extremists who attacked the Capitol at the president's provocation will be emboldened. All our intelligence agencies have confirmed this. It is not House managers saying that. There are quite literally standing by and standing ready. Donald Trump told them this is only the beginning. They are waiting and watching. The point is this, that by the time you call the cavalry, not cavalry, but cavalry of his thousands of supporters on January 6th, an event he had invited them to, he had every reason to know that they were armed, violent, and ready to actually fight. He knew who he was calling and the violence they were capable of. And he still gave his marching orders to go to the Capitol and, quote, fight like hell to stop the steal. How else was that going to happen? If they had stayed at the ellipse, maybe it would have just been to violently in fight in protest with their words. But to come to the Capitol, that is why this is different, and that is why he must be convicted and acquitted. And disqualified.
All right, it's time to introduce my panel. We have Candace Kelly, legal analyst, Mustafa Santiago Ali, former senior advisor for environmental justice at the EPA, and Michael Imhotep, host of the African History Network show. Thank you so much, guys, for joining us today. Now, I want to start with you, Michael. How can these people stand there with straight faces and say that Donald Trump did not incite this insurrection when all of us heard his words, when all of us have seen what he's done in the last 4 years in this country?
Well, very simple, Ashley, and thanks for having me on today. And shout out to Roland wherever he is, probably wearing some alpha gear, but I won't hold that against him. The reason why is because they sold their souls to the devil and they had to give the devil change. This is basically why. So what we're looking at is there was one point during the question session after the defense finished making their arguments, and then they opened it up to questions, 4 hours worth of questions from the senators opposing questions. That's taking place right now. There was one question asked by one of the senators. I don't remember which senator asked the question. So basically to the effect, so Donald Trump says that the election was stolen, okay? And they were asking, okay, so are you saying that the election was stolen? Is that the argument that you're making, that the election was stolen from Donald Trump? And the attorney did not want to answer the question directly. He said, it doesn't matter what I think. Well, no, the lie of the big steal, okay, the name of the rally was Stop the Steal Rally at the White House. The lie of the big steal is directly tied to the insurrection. You weaponize this lie that the election was stolen from you to enrage these people, and then you sent them to the U.S. Capitol to interrupt a constitutional mandate, a constitutionally mandated joint session of Congress, joint session of the legislative branch of government, where they are certifying the votes from the Electoral College. You wanted them to interrupt that and stop that so that you could stay in power. So the lie is directly tied to the insurrection.
Exactly. Like you're saying, Michael, some people are stating that day on January 6th that Donald Trump did not incite the insurrection. Let's pretend he didn't that day, although we know he did. You can say leading up to that point, he had been inciting something like what we saw on January 6th. Now, Candace, I want to go to you. What were your thoughts?
Pause it right there, Shakita. Okay, check that out. Check out the full show, Roland Martin Unfiltered. Roland's YouTube channel, Roland Martin on YouTube, and Roland Martin on Facebook. That's the February 12th, 2012 edition. Guest hosted by Ashley M. Banks. was the guest host. She does a good job. She's on Roland's team. Okay, now we're going to go to clip 4. Shakita, Delegate Stacey Plaskett. So thegrill.com. So in the clip from NBC Nightly News, you heard Delegate Stacey Plaskett, who represents the U.S. Virgin Islands. Now, there's an article from thegrill.com. We posted this on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network. Stacey Plaskett slams Trump's impeachment defense. Stacey Plaskett slams Trump's impeachment defense. Quote, black women are sick and tired. Black women are sick and tired. So what happened was, like I said, they played this montage of clips from the Black Lives Matter rallies, the social justice rallies that took place this past summer. And you had Trump's legal team had hoped the strategy would weaken the House impeachment manager's argument that Trump's language during the Save America, Stop the Steal rally he held just a few minutes before the pro-Trump insurrection stormed the Capitol directly incited the violent attack. So defense lawyers played a video montage of several prominent Democrats using the word fight during previous speeches and interviews. So they showed that, and then they also showed scenes from the social justice rallies. Now, Delegate Stacey Plaskett said the defense counsels put a lot of videos out in their defense, playing clip after clip of black women talking about fighting for a cause or issue or a policy. And she said this referring to a video that targeted Vice President Kamala Harris, Stacey Abrams of Georgia, and Congresswoman Maxine Waters. We're going to go to clip 4. It's in that article I sent you. Let's go to this clip. This is Delegate Stacey Plaskett. She said it was not lost on me, as so many of them were people of color and women and black women like myself, who are sick and tired of being sick and tired. Okay, it's in I sent you the link to the article from thegrill.com. Stacey Plaskett slams Trump's impeachment defense. Black women are sick and tired. Click on that link. There's a tweet inside that link from John Marshall. The video of Stacey Plaskett is in that tweet. So let me know when you have that queued up. So what they're trying to do, this is a lot of whataboutism. They're trying to distract. Look over there. Look over there. Look over there. Now, if we look over here, about 93% of racial justice protests in the U.S. have been peaceful, a new report finds. So Washington Post, CNN, all the outlets report on this. This is from September 4th, 2020. So check that out. And then also I'm going to show you the article from the Griot as well. About 93% of racial justice protests in the U.S. since the death of George Floyd have been peaceful and non-destructive, according to a new report. Now, this article is from September 4th, 2020. The findings released Thursday contradict assumptions and claims by some that protests associated with the Black Lives Matter movement are spawning violence and destruction of property. The report was produced by the U.S. Crisis Project. The U.S. Crisis Project. The report was produced by the U.S. Crisis Project, a joint effort by the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data Project and the Bridging Divides Initiative, BDI, from Princeton University. Okay. All right. Let's do this. Okay, I didn't send it to you. Let's go to clip 3. We'll go to clip 3. I thought I sent it to you. Sorry about that. I thought I sent this to you. It's here on my rundown sheet, but I didn't send it to you, Shakita. So let's do this. Let's go to clip 3. So CNN broke the story this evening. New details about Trump-McCarthy shouting match show Trump refused to call off the rioters. New details about Donald Trump, Kevin McCarthy, who is the House Minority Leader, Kevin McCarthy, spineless ass Kevin McCarthy. shouting match showed Trump refused to call off the rioters. They talked about it on All In with Chris Hayes on MSNBC. Let's go to clip 3.
Call between House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy and Trump as the attack on the Capitol was happening. And according to the report, as McCarthy begged Trump to call the rioters off, okay, he's on the phone with the president, Trump responded, and I quote, "Well, Kevin, I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are. I guess these people are more upset about the election than you are." Now, if that's true, that's sociopathic. That's a quote for a movie villain, not the president of the United States. It seems likely the Senate will vote on whether or not to convict Trump sometime tomorrow. It remains the case that the facts, at least the ones presented, the ones we have on the record, those are not in question. We all saw what happened on January 6th. We all read the tweets. We all saw what happened in the days and the weeks and months leading up to the attack. The senators who will vote lived it firsthand. Democratic Senator Patty Murray said in an interview tonight she was inches away from the mob and that her husband was holding a door closed with his foot as the mob outside shouted, "Kill the infidels." The only question tomorrow is whether there are enough Republican senators to vote for what they know is true and right. Senator Chris Van Hollen sat for the past 3 days of Donald Trump's second impeachment trial. He introduced legislation awarding Capitol Police Officer Eugene Goodman the Congressional Gold Medal. The Senate passed that bill by unanimous consent after giving Officer Goodman a standing ovation just hours ago.
Okay, pause it right there, Shakita. Pause it right there. Okay, I sent you the article from the Griot. Okay, so this is Delegate Stacey Plaskett of the U.S. Virgin Islands from day 4 of the Senate trial. Let's go to this clip. So she says this in the email. Did you get it? She says, "It was not lost on me as so many of them were people of color and women and black women." She's referring to the montage of the videos. Let's go.
I'll briefly say that defense counsel put a lot of videos out in their defense, playing clip after clip of black women talking about fighting for a cause or an issue or a policy. It was not lost on me as so many of them were people of color and women, black women like myself, who are sick and tired of being sick and tired for our children. Your children, our children. This summer, things happened that were violent, but there were also things that gave some of us black women great comfort. Seeing Amish people from Pennsylvania standing up with us, members of Congress fighting up with us. And so I thought we were past that. I think maybe we're not. There are long-standing consequences, decisions like this that will define who we are as a people, who America is. We have in this room made monumental decisions. You all have made monumental decisions. We've declared wars, passed Civil Rights Acts, ensured that no one in this country is a slave. Every American has the right to vote, unless you live in a territory. At this time, some of these decisions are even controversial, but history has shown that they define us as a country and as a people. Today is one of those moments, and history will wait for our decision.
Okay, so that was Delegate Stacey Plaskett in response to that nonsense, that montage of videos that the Trump team put forth. Check out this article from thegrio.com. Stacey Plaskett slams Trump's impeachment defense. Black women are sick and tired. Okay, from the Griot. Check that out. All right. We're out of time here on 910 a.m. the Superstation WFDF. Those watching on Facebook and YouTube, keep watching. We're going to go for a couple more minutes. We'll talk a little bit about Dave Chappelle and get out of here. We'll be back Sunday, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Right now, it's correct wrong behavior is not over till we win. We're kind of forever. Stay tuned for Pastor Greg Davis. We'll talk to you Sunday night. Peace. All right, stand by, everybody. Okay. So then, so check out this article here from the Griot about Stacey Plaskett, and then we've got this here. I want to show you this one quickly. This is from CNN. About 93% of racial justice protests. About 93% of racial justice protests in the U.S. have been peaceful. Okay, this is from CNN.com. They talk about this study. You can check this out also. So the Trump camp, the Trump defense team, and a lot of people in general, try to make the racial justice protests seem violent, try to paint them as violent. They did this during the campaign. 93% of them were peaceful protests, nonviolent. Okay. Read this from CNN.com, September 4th, 2020, by Harmeet Kaur, Kaur, from CNN. Okay. I want to go to, how's everybody doing? Everybody share this broadcast to your social media platforms, invite your friends to tune in as well. And also, if you like this type of information, you can donate to the African History Network, $ TheAHNShow through Cash App, and also paypal.me/TheAHNShow. And be sure to register for our online course, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. This is it meets on Tuesdays 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is a 8-week, 16-hour online course. You can watch it live. All the classes are recorded. You can go back and watch it over and over again. And we do it thousands of years of history, watch from around the world. So if you go to our website, AfricanHistoryNetwork.com, you scroll down the page, you see information about my radio show. Also download the iHeartRadio app. You can listen to audio podcasts of the African History Network show. You can listen to 9-10 a.m. Superstation Live. We have information here right below that dealing with, you read articles by Michael Imhotep. Click here, read articles that I write. Information for the online class. Tuesday, February 16th, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Click right here for register here. Takes you to the next page. Information for the course. Click right here to enroll. As soon as you register for it, you can start watching content. You can watch class number 1 from February 9th. Okay. So the February 16th class, we're going to be joined by cultural anthropologist Sister Nubia Wardford, who does archaeological digs in the Sudan. And we're going to talk about some of the archaeological digs she's done, and we'll deal with the African queens of antiquity, Okay, so we'll post a link here. You can register for that. As soon as you register, you can start watching content. Okay, so last story, and we'll talk probably some more about this on my Sunday night show. Dave Chappelle, TMZ had this story, and then it was picked up by AtlantaBlackStar.com. Also picked up this story. We posted it on our Facebook fan page, the African History Network. It got over 5,000 likes. I got my show back, and they paid me millions of dollars. I got my show back, and they paid me millions of dollars. Dave Chappelle thanks fans for making Chappelle's show worthless, announces its return to Netflix. And if we pull this up here. So Dave Chappelle recently, and let's turn on the screen share here so you can see. All right, so we remember when Dave Chappelle did his stand-up, and he did his routine, and he talked about the deal with Comedy Central and not being paid for streaming of the Chappelle show. All right, so if we look at this here, Dave Chappelle recently announced that his comedy show, Chappelle's Show, will be returning to Netflix after it was removed at his request last year. Following a performance titled Redemption Song in Austin, Texas, at the Stubbs Waller Creek venue, the comedian revealed that his popular sketch program would be rejoining the streaming platform on February 12th, 2021. The comedian also shared the news with a 10-minute clip posted to his Instagram account late Wednesday night. Okay, so check that out also on Instagram. He said, I asked you to stop watching the show, and thank God Almighty you did. You made that show worthless because with your eyes, it's nothing. Without your eyes is nothing. Chappelle told the audience, he told this to the audience. He went on to say, and when you stopped watching it, they called me and I got my name back and I got my license back and I got my show back and they paid me millions of dollars. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. He went on to say that this is a very important moment. I want to thank Ted Sardanas at Netflix, a CEO who had the courage to take my show off its platform at financial detriment to the company just because I asked him. And I want to thank Chris McCarthy of CBS Viacom. This guy is younger than me. And like most people younger than me, has an interest in making the past right and did something that was very courageous. And finally, after all these years, I can finally say that Comedy Central, it's been a pleasure doing business with you. Okay, so check this out also at AtlantaBlackStar.com, AtlantaBlackStar.com. I got my show back and they paid me millions of dollars. Dave Chappelle thanks fans for making Chappelle's show, quote unquote, worthless, announces its return to Netflix. This is an article by Atahabi Jermaine for AtlantaBlackStar.com. We posted this on our Facebook fan page, The African History Network, The African History Network. We posted this there as well. Got over 5,000 likes. I got my show back and they paid me millions of dollars. Dave Chappelle thanks fans for making Chappelle's show worthless, announces its return to Netflix. So that is good news also for Dave Chappelle. And that is an example of a type of economic withdrawal strategy to support someone who we are interested in supporting. That's a type of economic withdrawal strategy against a corporation who is doing someone wrong that we want them to stop. Okay, so people supported his efforts. They were losing money, so that they acquiesced. Now they're paying him what they owe him. All right. Look, we have to get out of here. Be sure to register for my online course, Ancient Kemet, the Moors, and the Maafa, Understanding the Transatlantic Slave Trade, what they didn't teach you in school. And we'll be back Sunday. We're on Sundays, 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember, right now is correct wrong behavior. It's not over till we win. Wakanda forever. And have a good weekend. We'll talk to you later. Peace.
With blackbusinesstee.com, the messages are clear and meaningful. Keep your business in the black and out of the red. Mind your black business. Know your numbers and plan strategically. Black Business Boss, lead your industry. Support black business, encourage, patronize, and uplift one another. blackbusinesstee.com currently has products sold in Detroit, Atlanta, Chicago, and Los Angeles, with proceeds returned to the black community. They have a wide selection of hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, hats, sweatshirts that support black-owned businesses. Visit the website blackbusinesstee.com. That's blackbusinesstee.com.
Do you have an idea or business that requires app development or thinking of moving your IT resources to the cloud? We have post-paid and profit-sharing plans for unique ideas or profitable businesses. Who can take advantage of this unique program? Entrepreneurs with unique ideas, startups, small to medium businesses. Contact us, 267-209-0352.
Visit nomadicsystems.net, nomadicsystems.net today. Intuitive Design Clothing is an online accessory store that sells one-of-a-kind signature statement pieces for men and women. They also specialize in fashion consultations, closet organization, and decorating small spaces. Are you looking for a statement piece for a special affair, or would you like to add some select pieces to your ensemble of accessories? If you're looking for something different, definitely contact Kathy Norman, owner and CEO of Intuitive Design Clothing. Visit their website, intuitivedesignClothing.com. That's intuitivedesignClothing.com, and you can email her at info@intuitivedesignClothing.com. Intuitive Design Clothing is where every entrance is a grand entrance. Soul Natural Beauty Products offers organic, plant-based skin and hair care products that will rejuvenate skin and naturally grow and thicken hair. Their whipped shea butter can heal or restore damaged skin cells to prevent hyperpigmentation and skin breakouts. All products are made with organic plant-based ingredients. Their maximum hair growth oil is fortified with organic herbal extracts and undeniably proves that Mother Nature knows best. It thickens, lengthens, softens, and conditions all types of hair. They even guarantee hair improvement within 90 days or a full refund. Their all-natural 24-hour deodorant leaves the body smelling fresh without sweating for up to 24 hours. It does not stain fabric, goes on smoothly, and has a refreshing lavender and frankincense aroma. It can be used by men, women, and even children. Place your order today at soulnaturalbeautyproducts.com. That's soulnaturalbeautyproducts.com, and follow them on Facebook at Soul Natural Beauty Products. For 25 years, the Black History 101 Mobile Museum has carried on the rich legacy of the Black Museum movement in America by showcasing original artifacts of the Black experience at colleges, universities, K-12 schools, corporations, libraries, conferences, and cultural events, making it the most traversed Black History mobile exhibit in American history. Dr. Khalid El Hakim is the founder of the Black History 101 Mobile Museum, and he is a highly sought-after public speaker on topics of Black history, social studies, education, museum studies, hip-hop, and race relations. Dr. Khalid was named among the change makers for NBC Universal's Erase the Hate campaign and listed as one of the 100 men of distinction for Black enterprise. He recently founded the Michigan Hip Hop Archive on the campus of Western Michigan University. The Black History 101 Mobile Museum is currently scheduling in-person and virtual exhibits nationwide. For more information, please contact Dr. Khalid Al Hakim directly at 313-645-4197, 313-645-4197, or visit their website at blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. That's blackhistorymobilemuseum.com. You can also email him at bhistory101@yahoo.com, bhistory101@yahoo.com. Gain knowledge in minutes with Blacklist Ed. Blacklist Ed is an app that provides insightful summaries of books pertaining to the Black experience. As Black people, we know the importance of reading books to discover our incredible contributions to world history, to uplift our self-esteem, and to empower ourselves for our relentless fight for social justice. Unfortunately, with our busy lives, it feels like there is never enough time to read a book. Fortunately, there's a solution. With Blacklist Ed, their app provides key insights from best-selling books about the Black experience, therefore saving you time, increasing your knowledge, and empowering yourself through inspirational and actionable ideas. You can read or listen on the go. Start your free trial today by going to blacklisted.com. That's Black without the C, B-L-A-K. Or you can download the Blacklist Ed app from the App Store or Google Play. Blacklist Ed, empower yourself. Yaya Rule is a line of African print-inspired apparel catered to the black community. The pieces include t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, jackets, dresses, skirts, activewear, bags, and other accessories and home decor. This brand offers a revived way for men and women to wear their black pride and honor their African heritage anywhere at any time. This apparel line is for anyone, whether you are working in the corporate world, are an entrepreneur, or an artist. Their selection will allow you to casually let your pride shine or dress it up as wanted. It is for those who have already embraced African fabrics and for those who are just getting introduced to them. Reclaim and experience a part of our culture with rich and colorful African prints. The clothing line and the accessories are available right now starting at $17.99. For more information on the new items and accessories, visit